All right, so today we are going to get a little nostalgic. I was just thinking about all the things I used to do as a kid and kind of brought up some old memories. So as a kid, I remember my friends and I used to go to the mall all the time. Literally just for fun, we would spend hours, and I mean hours, in the mall. So I remember we used to go to Aeropostale a lot, and that used to have the t-shirts that just said Aeropostale like all over them, and we were obsessed with Aeropostale shirts. We would go to Hollister all the time, and I remember we always looked for the cute little dresses that were like navy blue, and they had like the white flowers on them, and the skirts that were like hot pink with like the green flowers, or like navy blue with the flowers on them. And we were also obsessed with their swimsuits. Another place we used to go all the time would be Pink, and we would literally spend half the trip to the mall, at the mall in the store Pink. We would be looking for the leggings with the pink on the fold, and it'd be like in sequins with like a zebra background, or like neon green, neon pink background. Everyone was obsessed with these pink leggings. So we would spend hours trying to find like the right pink legging, and then, or it would be like a short, like an athletic short with the fold that said pink. We would also love the quarter zips with the little pink dog on them. Everything had to have the pink dog, and we would just spend hours in there looking at all of that stuff. I remember one of my friends had like this Galaxy backpack from Pink that we were all obsessed with. I had like this school backpack that was flowers that were pink, green, blue, and we were just all obsessed with the store Pink. Another thing we used to do is just go into like Dillard's and Kohl's for hours, and we would just play like hide and go seek, and just run around those stores forever. And then I remember there also used to be this store Deb's, I think it was called Deb maybe, and we would, even though we weren't going to homecoming or prom, we would spend hours in there trying on homecoming dresses, and they'd be like the coolest homecoming dresses that we never ended up buying, but we did try them on every time. We would take little pictures with our cameras in the mirror with our dresses. And I remember a couple of my favorites were like the zebra one, that was a homecoming dress, this like sequined orange and pink one, and all the dresses were just beautiful, gorgeous, like sequined dresses that were so cute. And then I remember there's also this store called Glitter that we were obsessed with. It would be like everything was $1. It'd be like rings, like big chunky rings, big chunky necklaces, and I don't think it was ever like really good quality, but we were buying like 10 rings for like $10. Or like Claire's, it'd be like buy 10 accessories, get 10 free, and it'd be like the best deal ever. And we would buy like mustache rings, we would buy like the movie theater glasses that were like neon pink with like the duct tape. We loved going to the mall for fun. We would use the photo booth that was there. It was just like the spot to be. Even if we weren't shopping or had any money, we would just be walking around for fun, meeting people, or be like, meet us at the mall, let's go to the food court. Like, it was always just the most fun time. And then I feel like another thing we did for fun, we did this literally every weekend, I feel like, especially middle school, when we finally got like freedom to like be by ourselves. Our parents would drop us off at the amusement park, Kings Island, and we would just walk around Kings Island for like 7 hours. We would get there at like 3, we would leave at 10, we would get there at like 2, we would leave at 11, midnight. And it wasn't even necessarily for the rides. I mean, we would just walk around Kings Island, meeting people would be like the coolest thing. Be like, meet us at Kings Island, let's hang out at Kings Island. Our parents would drop us off there, and then we'd find another parent to pick us up. We would go there just for the food. One of my friends had like a meal plan pass, so she got like 2 free meals a day, and that was awesome. Or we would go to the water park part and we just sit there all day and like tan, lay out, go to the lazy river. I remember Fear Fest. We went every single like Friday, Saturday of the whole entire like Fear Fest thing, like all of October, maybe even like the end of September. We would go every single weekend to Fear Fest just to hang out with our friends, and that was always really fun. I feel like another thing we used to do too growing up was go to the movie theater, which I feel like isn't as popular as it was back in the day, or maybe it is, I'm wrong, but yeah, we used to go to the movie theater all the time, and every single movie release we would go to the movies with like our whole entire friend group. And I remember it used to be right in front of my house growing up, so we would literally just walk there. And some movies I remember like being huge were like Hunger Games, 50 Shades of Grey, every Harry Potter ever. What was another one? Twilight. Everyone was obsessed and went to every single Twilight premiere, and it was like a whole event. Imagine Barbie, but almost every single movie was like the Barbie movie. Like everyone was going to the movie theater. It was like the biggest thing ever, huge marketing, and everyone was going to the movie theater. Even like we would also use Redbox. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but it used to be in front of like grocery stores, or just in front of like random gas stations would be a Redbox, and you could rent a movie for 2 days, a weekend. You can renew the movies, and it would be kind of a little after they were usually in the movie theater. You could buy them at the Redbox, and me and my friends would always use Redbox. But even before that, Hollywood Video was like a huge thing, and that's how everyone got their movies besides the movie theater, was Hollywood Video. So it used to be this store that had every single movie you could ever dream of, aisles and aisles and aisles and aisles of movies, and even like video games. But I remember it used to be exciting because you would like get your movie popcorn, you would get your candy there, you would get your 3 movie DVDs, and it was always an exciting like moment and trip to go to Hollywood Video, I feel like. And because you were like paying all this money for the movies, it was almost like you had to finish them, you had to watch them, and it was a whole day, night dedicated to those movies, and everyone was always really invested in them. Because however, like nowadays, I feel like obviously you have to pay for the Netflix, Hulu subscription, but it's not like you're paying for every movie necessarily. So I feel like people aren't as invested in movies, and like, I mean, every now and then there's like a hit movie, a hit TV show where everyone's like on the same wavelength, but even like watching the movie, I feel like people aren't as invested nowadays with like watching movies. But yeah, those are just like a couple of things I did growing up that I was like, oh wow, like I wonder if the kids nowadays go to the mall or go to Kings Island amusement park every single weekend just for fun and to meet up their friends, not necessarily to go to the mall to buy things or go to the amusement park to ride rides, but like that was the hangout spot. Also Walmart and Steak and Shake, like those were the things to do. Not to be there for like Steak and Shake for the food, Walmart for like the store part aspect, but it's like we literally just go to hang out, meet up with people with no money. So those were just some random thoughts that came to my head. I feel like maybe a couple more nostalgic things will come to mind and I'll have to make another video, but those were just a couple of the things I thought of. So